What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Digital Cypha Podcast. I am Ebonics. I am joined with Diozaels, otherwise known as the DOZ. I haven't left that. I don't know why, but Diozaels and the Don CJG. What's going on, guys? How you doing today?
Howdy.
Howdy, man. You in the UK? What you talking
Hey,
howdy?
I'm a Texan, bro.
Might as well be how cold it is there.
Mr.
Man.
Worldwide, bro.
The cold is worldwide. Sheesh. Man, wow. So all of a sudden, this week was a little bit dry. We had some news about the PlayStation and the die test, I believe it was, with the CPU and stuff. That's a discussion for later on a different podcast, because I think the community is still sinking in with that issue. But there was not really much going on until, as of recent, this news started dropping. The Nintendo Direct, is it BlizzCon?
Yep,
Is that-
BlizzCon.
BlizzCon. And then the many how can I put it? The Scud missiles that Microsoft tend to keep dropping in 2021. I mean, first and foremost, this crossed my mind, and I would just want to say, it feels as though E3 is an all year round situation now. The vibe of E3, like if you notice, the commercials, the trailers, the reveals, they seem to be of E3 quality. As far as the reveals, like let's say when Microsoft shows something, when PlayStation shows something, when Nintendo shows something, when Blizzard shows something, it might be on YouTube.
Yep.
It might be on social media, but when you look at it, it's like, man, this should have been on E3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have a feeling that they're segmenting they're piecing out the information throughout the year until the grand reveal of whatever it is that they're doing. That's what it feels like to me. And I tend to think future tense, so that's what I'm thinking. What are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, man. I think like we kind of went into it last week about this whole E3 thing. I think
Yeah.
E3 is not what it used to be. After 2020, we kind of realized that we don't need one giant event to get the information out there. Like you said, Microsoft kind of dropping these little bombshells every other week,
Yep.
and it really keeps you on your toes. I don't know what's coming next at this point. I have no idea.
We might see something where there's a studio being purchased. Who knows? I mean, I sound excited, but I'm not really excited. I mean, I'm more excited to know what's happening with a Vow, an Elden Ring.
Oh yeah.
Final Fantasy 16. Those are studio acquisitions is awesome, but what I want to see is what's been announced. That's been on the back burner.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Dio? What are your thoughts?
I think like we said like last week, E3's become really redundant, and I think there was a place for it before because the gaming industry wasn't as big as it is now, right? Like now it's so big that it's almost like you need things quarterly, not just for the consumer base, but for the shareholders, right? So everyone wants to see what's going on, what's coming up next. And I don't think E3, like if you're just waiting for one big show for the whole year, it's just not enough, right? Like we have to have things quarterly now, just because of how big the industry is.
Right. And speaking about that, Don, what secretness have you found out that I just have no clue what it is?
Well, there was a few things. What kind of? There's a few things that dropped. I'll start with the biggest one. What happened for me? What I didn't really see coming at all. I don't know if you guys even remember the name of this game because it came out of nowhere.
Okay.
6 Days in Fallujah is back in development and planned to release this year.
6 Days of Fallujah. Well, that sounds like an MMO.
That sounds like when the Marines were down in Fallujah, Iraq.
Yes,
wow.
That is exactly it.
What?
That sounds pretty
This
awesome.
game was announced in 2009, 11 years ago. And I think literal days after it was revealed, it was cancelled.
No.
Yep.
Wow.
So Konami basically said after we revealed the game in the United States, a lot of phone calls, emails, but a lot of kind of negative reception because it's. I think war in Iraq is obviously a pretty big, heavy topic, and I think the world wasn't really ready for the game at that point, and whether it is now or not, we don't really know. But I never thought I'd see this game come back, let alone 11 years later. But yeah, it's supposed to be based in a Battle of Fallujah in Iraq during 2004. Made by Hardwire Games.
Interesting.
And yeah, they're kind of working with a team of 100 Marines, soldiers, Iraqi civilians who kind of experience those events to try and make the game as historically accurate as possible.
Oh, so let me. I have a little bit of problems with this being prime military. And it's not really a problem with them doing it. It's a problem of people reliving that issue, that event. Especially like I don't want to say much about myself, but during the Bush administration, Iraqi freedom, enduring freedom, and things like that, and we had stuff happening. That of itself, people have memories of. And then when we go further back into time, all the wars, I mean, these guys with PTSD, I mean, how is that, how are we going to alleviate that issue in gaming? Because, Call of Duty, the way how I look at it, and maybe Dio can help me with this, is when you have control on your own character, right, in a warlike game, you tend to take stress out in the game. PTSD doesn't seem to be a big of an issue because you have control on what happens with the character, and you don't just you die, but you don't die. But then there are games that are very sensitive to real life situations in these warlike environments, and I won't play them. That's for sure. Like for instance, this is how bad it is for me. I think it was New Year's. It was New Year's. Now I'm over here in North Carolina. We have the biggest base here on the East Coast, and the fireworks over here was literally like dropping of bombs. It was weird for me. I couldn't sleep, so to have that in a video game where you were seeing and feeling and experiencing the same type of environments, I'm wondering how other vets would feel about that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but anyways,
I mean,
go ahead.
In my opinion, and I definitely see where you're coming from, I think it really just depends on the individual, right? Like, I think there's definitely Marines, and this is speaking as a Marine, that this is definitely not necessarily a bad thing. Mm-hmm. It can be great if it's not overly like romanticized, right? Because I think we tend to do that with video games and movies. We kind of like romanticize the idea of war. If they show how gritty it is and how realistic it is, I think that's awesome, because at that point it's more educational than anything. I mean, obviously you still want to have a lot of fun with it, right? You want to kill and win.
So you're talking about like a political perspective where you're seeing some form of mindset that you may not agree with, but then you have the opportunity to take them down type of vibe.
Well, I don't think it necessarily has to show like the whole political side of it, but if they can show like how, like express how gritty war really is, it's almost at that point like, and that's what Call of Duty has tried to do in the past, right? Like make it like a historical kind of thing and an experience. I think if they try to, romanticize the idea too much, where it's like, I would like to see more of these kind of games, more like where you play PFC Smelkatelli and he gets blasted, and then all of a sudden now you gotta play as Lance Corporal, dummy, and like you can't just be this badass guy, you know what I mean? I would like to see more of that realistic thing, like where you don't expect to die, you expect to like like in when you're playing Master Chief, right, in Halo, you're this crazy badass, I think there's too many of these like realistic kind of games that, even though they're supposed to be realistic, they're not. Like they kind of let you play that power fantasy, like your Doom guy or your Master Chief. I would like to see a little bit more of like your main character passing away if you mess up in the game. If you like almost like a roguelike, you know what I mean? If they could do something like that, that'd be really cool. But I kind of remember another game like this back in the old Xbox come out that was supposed to be like the same thing. I think it was like Close Combat First to Fight, if I remember correctly. It had like a Marine on the cover, and I remember kind of expecting that experience playing it, because I mean, Fallujah happened like I think maybe like 6 months in when I got in the Marine Corps, and I remember like being all gung ho and dumb and young and couldn't wait to go over there and playing like Close Combat First to Fight. It definitely wasn't what I expected. I expected this badass Marine game, and it was total crap. I just hope this doesn't go the same way, But I don't know. We'll see. I think anything is good as long as it's not overly. I'd rather see it more realistic than power fantasy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's the whole argument with it as well. It's a case of, how political do you want to make a game like this when it's such a, a big subject as it is.
Yeah.
Like the game that we're watching right now is Final Fantasy 12, and it has its own politics in it.
Yeah, definitely.
You're like a character on the outside looking at the politics happen, and you're trying to avenge your brother's death. Also avenge a fallen king who was betrayed and stuff like that. So I don't mind those types of political situations. But anyways, so Xbox made a few moves, and one of those moves was its headphones.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I don't even know what the code name of this headphone is called, to be honest. But what do you guys think about it? The new joint that they dropped, the headphones.
I think obviously we posted this and we talked about it in Discord a little bit. Like, I think the general reception for everybody is like really excited about this thing.
Yeah.
Considering I used pair of Astro A40s, and I think this thing kind of rivals what I've got going on. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm kind of tempted by this.
Dio, what do you think?
I'm gonna pick up a pair. I at least want to test it out. I think it's pretty cool. I could definitely see this being stocked in like GameStop, right? Because
I mean,
it's
I got
definitely
my
interesting.
Already.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, man, through Best Buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
In the back right here. Nice.
Yeah.
I think they look cool.
Yeah.
So,
and I think this kind of answered the question, like, why didn't we get a headset in the Series Xbox? And I guess this is why.
I didn't even think about that. I forgot all about that.
But that's a good question. When was the last time we actually had headphones in a console release?
Xbox One, right?
Was it?
Yeah, Xbox One. They released them.
They did.
They were crappy ones.
Yeah, I don't think you even got one in the One X.
I don't remember one in the Xbox One.
It was not a great headset, that's why.
Yeah, it was a crappy headset.
Wait, so you telling me you opened a box and tossed it?
Yeah, I honestly say that. You know how like those old 360 headphones lasted like 2 months and they broke? It was one of those.
They're like headsets you would expect to see like in a calling center, like for customer service. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
where
cool.
the boss doesn't care about you.
Yeah, look cool, but they were not good.
I'm telling you, I'm literally thinking that right now. Like you open the box, ooh, Xbox One, and then you see the headphones and you toss it behind you. Like that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the time, that wasn't the mindset either. I think the PlayStation was really amping up to be the console then, but because the Kinect was, came with the box. But man, headphones. And now the thing about it with this headphones is that it's said to be the answer to PlayStation's Pulse 3D headset. I don't know what the Pulse does.
Nor do I.
But
this thing, I feel like that Pulse headset kind of went under the water. No one really never really heard about it.
No.
I knew it existed. I've seen a picture when they announced the PS5 and that whole kind of set of gear you get with it, and the headphone, the controller, and all that. But no one ever really talked about the headset.
Dude, I mean, when we think about PlayStation's accessories, like the only thing you'll hear about is the games and the controller. You know, the headphones, the camera, the PlayStation Eye or PSI or something, the nunchucks or whatever it is that they got, the motion, whatever
the VR.
Yeah, I mean, all of that is kind of like, it's there. You can buy it. Moving on to the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, so,
I feel like no one really made a big deal out of it.
Now
It's exciting to see this, man.
Yeah.
People, like, if I did sold out straight away as well. People like this.
I'm gonna throw some pointers out here. The headphones is $100, but it surpasses my $399 right now.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
Whoa.
Here's why. My $399 is not even a USB-C, right? That's one. Two, I do have a I do have a wireless, but mine's is bound to the PC. This headphones is Xbox One, Xbox One X, Xbox One S, Windows 10, Android devices with Bluetooth.
Okay.
You can answer your phone with this joint.
Yeah.
It has
That's
noise.
legit.
It has noise suppression, background noise suppression, and it separates your voice from the background voice as well, based on what I'm reading here. It has 15 hours of battery life per charge, and it supports the Dolby Atmos, DTS Headphone X, and Windows Sonic format. So we're talking about everything that is Xbox that they promised the features and stuff when it comes to audio.
Yeah.
It's all in the headphones.
Didn't they also say you can like connect this to like 2 devices at once as well?
That I have not heard.
Apparently you can connect to your Xbox and say your phone or something. You could be listening to music on your phone and
like
be in a
I
party
said,
chat too.
you can answer phone calls.
Yeah, but you can like do that at the same time.
I don't know if I want to be distracted like that though.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, but like the fact you can do that is like what?
Dude,
No,
I still complain a lot.
Right, you could be in your conference call and playing some Call of Duty or something.
Dude, I
No.
miss like remember in the old Xbox when you were able like the original Xbox when you could like download your CDs onto it and then play your soundtracks while you're playing games.
Yeah.
I miss that functionality. So I mean, if I could at least listen to my own stuff while I'm playing a game at the same time, that's pretty cool.
Well,
I'm happy to hear that.
You can still do that. The only thing is that there is the what is it called? Pandora and Spotify. I haven't tried it with the media player. The media player joint.
Yeah. And Spotify doesn't work great on Xbox. It's a bit.
What?
Yeah, it's not amazing.
Oh wow.
It works okay, but
Yeah.
it's not the ideal.
Rip to
not.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. Dio, you gotta pay attention, man. You dealing with money, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about accessories. I mean, you guys heard about that PS5 DualSense controller drift, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like a legit like class action lawsuit.
Yeah.
Really?
I heard about this.
Yeah,
Really?
dude.
What?
Yep.
Wait,
Yep,
who's suing who? That's what I want to know.
It's a law firm called Chimeless Schwartz Kiner and
What?
Donald Smith LLP.
Out of where?
They're-
That sounds like European companies.
No, it's here in America.
Okay.
They're representing a bunch of Americans, and you know,
Yeah, don't involve us Europeans in this.
But-
bro.
no,
Here's my okay. First and foremost, again, I have no problem with PlayStation, like Sony PlayStation. I have a problem with their practices, like PlayStation Live, and how long it took for them to actually start doing their thing, so that it can become a stable platform for people to do multiplayer, and fanboyism. That's it. But I have no problem with PlayStation because I love the games, But my thing about it is, all right, PlayStation, they innovated a new gamepad, right? That has rumble features that are not known anywhere else for now. Right.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of debatable.
Anyways.
I'm just saying the Joy-Cons kind of did it before them. So
I got you. But I mean, they're selling it. They're selling it as, whatever.
Yeah.
Xbox has had its fair share of drifts. So,
yeah, for sure.
Are we looking at a little bit of mistreating this towards this controller and the drift? How bad is it? Let me ask you that, because if it's seriously bad, like worse than an Xbox drift, then I can understand.
Well, they're saying that it's like pretty much unlawful, deceptive, fraudulent, and unfair. But I think in the end of the day, it's just gaming has become such a normal part of business now, and it's really catching on. Like, you're seeing almost every quarter, every year, more and more lawsuits against companies, right? Like, I mean, think back on look at Anthem and like it's like this stuff with Cyberpunk, right?
Okay.
There's so many games that released worse than Cyberpunk, but nothing happened to them. But now that it's becoming more and more normal, now like you had these lawyers like, we can make some money off of this. You know what I mean?
I completely agree. Especially, okay, so let's look at this. Cyberpunk came out and then they had bugs, and then it was crashing. Is it PCs and consoles or just consoles? I think the PS4 was the only one.
I'm not sure. Console. I don't think PCs had crashing issues, but
I think they had funny bugs, but not crash breaking bugs.
Yeah. I mean, last gen was definitely screwed over, but I mean, pretty much current gen and PC was okay, but they still had their issues.
Yeah, it's still not great, but it was playable.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So then people cry and scream. Now, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, a group of people in the Final Fantasy 14 community that I play with, and they were very adamant about how CD Projekt Red was being treated. And I agree. I think CD Projekt Red should not have been underneath the microscope it experienced last year. Again, referencing to Dio and the Anthem situation and all these other games that came out. And I think, one, it was the reputation of CD Projekt Red. Two, it was the promises and the underhanding situations that they did when they were pushing the games out for reviews. And three, they were being sued by their own people.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cyberpunk, I mean, I'm not saying Cyberpunk, but CD Projekt Red, they did deserve it in the end of the day, because it was blatant and obvious that they knew the game wasn't ready. I mean, they even told people who were making reviews, hey, you can only review and release X and X kind of content.
Okay,
and then after
can we say that
you can add more? Can
we say that with Anthem then, that they know the game wasn't ready with Anthem?
Well, I don't know. What was Anthem? I don't remember Anthem at this point. It's so long.
Anthem was technically.
Anthem's problem?
I think Anthem's problem was it wasn't finished. The experience was like it wasn't finished. Like, you were flying and you saw nothing up until you had to get to a location, or the problems of going in and out of spaces. You went into Fort Tarsis to do this, and I can see why they did it, because it's Destiny. Destiny allows you to do the same thing. Yeah. You're not fighting in your safe zone. You're just meeting people. But they did it in a way. Yeah, I think it should have been seamless, to be honest. But anyways, it's not about that.
So, I mean, from what I remember, and I keep misremembering, and I hate to say this, but it wasn't really EA's fault. It was more BioWare's fault.
Really?
EA, I think, they gave them 6 or 8 years to finish this game, and they started working on it a year out.
Was it?
They kept changing.
What is it? A year within the right after the E3 presentation? Is that when they started working on it?
No, they literally kept changing their minds about stuff and then starting over. So, and then being told that they had to work with the Frostbite engine. So, I mean, there was definitely parts that were EA's fault, but it felt like it was just mostly on BioWare's end, where it was mismanagement.
So, going back to the question, should Anthem been sued as well?
I think so. I mean, if you go by the same standards of what's going on now, then yeah. I mean, you could even go back to Bethesda with Skyrim. Because, I mean, even Skyrim, it's not like it launched very well. There was plenty.
No. There's still bugs in Skyrim that aren't fixed.
Oh yeah. Dude,
Oh,
and I remember,
There's one mission in Skyrim I still can't complete.
I remember this. I remember this terrible bug when I would purposely not do it because I knew where it would happen. There was like this patch of water that whenever I played on the PS3 or even the Xbox 360 at the time when it launched,
What?
it would just like hard stop my game and I could like not go past it. So I had to like, I think I remember waiting months for them to patch it, and I didn't even know they did it. I just found out by like coincidence at the time that they finally fixed it. You know?
Oh wow.
And I still remember, even now, like when I'll play Skyrim, I get like PTSD of the game, and I'm like, don't go in the water, it's gonna freeze your game.
There's one DLC mission you just can't beat it. The guy just doesn't spawn the boss. He's just like, nah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I mean, there's plenty of games that if you go by today's standards, it's because the industry is getting bigger and lawyers and government are becoming more aware of how much money and revenue this is bringing in. That's why they just keep upping the ante, which in ways is good for the consumer in a way, because now you have regulations starting to look out for your back. But then I mean, those are still gonna get banned anyway by because I mean, if big business was perfect with government, we wouldn't be eating and taking supplements that are not good for us, for our health. So it's already gonna get corrupt eventually anyway.
So on a good note, right? Microsoft is introducing this accessibility program, and I think this is awesome. This accessibility program allows developers and developers and publishers to pitch their games. And when it goes through this process, we have people with disabilities testing the game.
Yep.
And when they test the game, they'll be able to communicate back to the devs on what is technically a problem or misunderstood or whatever the case may be, so that the devs can fix it. Like, what are you guys' thoughts about that? It's interesting to see those with disabilities now being able to have a voice to, make game-changing, advice, so that they can also play the same games we play.
Yeah, I think it's a natural evolution since when the adaptive controller came out about 2 years ago or something. I think it's kind of a natural evolution to see that Microsoft wanted to include these kind of people, like, hey, gaming's for everybody. Here's a controller to make that happen. And the controller is a good kind of way to start, and now it's like, okay, how do we make every game accessible to everybody? I think bringing in this group of people who, they're not under the average consumer base, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, how can we make these guys able to enjoy these games just as much as everybody else? I think that's such an important step. I
mean, what ushered it into existence would be the adaptive controller, and then they started realizing that, hey, this is something we need to tap in. What were your thoughts, Dio?
I think overall it's a great thing because, I hate to generalize, but a lot of these people are definitely, not allowed, due to whatever handicap they have, to experience a lot of things, right? So this gives them a way to experience it virtually. So overall, it's a great thing. I don't want to sound like an asshole or a jerk, but I also at the same point hope that while they're making it more accessible games to them, I hope that games are not altered too much for a very small portion of the community where games lose their competitive edge or become way too easy. I said, I don't want to sound like a jerk.
A watered down experience, I guess.
But so you don't think that well, I'm not saying you specifically, but do you think that people feel that them going this route would downgrade the like say competitiveness, or make it more like a Destiny experience where they've catered to the casuals more than competitors because they're appealing to specific communities?
I mean, you see it even when we're not even talking about people with handicaps, right? Like so, like when you have crossplay between PC and console, right? Like playing on a controller when you're playing FPS is definitely a lot harder than playing it with a mouse and keyboard. And they have the edge, right? But so what do like gaming developers do? Like they to compensate, they'll make bigger hitboxes, right? Or like auto lock on. And I guess that's not a terrible thing if you're playing against other console players, but it definitely is shitty when you're playing. And I don't play on the PC as much as I do on controller, but I could imagine if I was playing on the PC and I can tell that this dude is like playing a controller and is, you know, not doing very well, but he's getting kills because he's getting helped by big hitboxes. It kind of sucks because, you know, at that point it's not because of skill, it's because the devs have compensated him, you know. So I could imagine people feeling almost the same way with that. But I mean, I don't know. I really guess it depends on the game and how devs approach it, you know.
The same way how, and I might be wrong in thinking this way, and by no means I'm not trying to downplay anyone's ability to play anything, but to me, I think that they may start off with games that are easier to cope with based on the type of disability someone may have. Like there's some people,
for sure.
There's some people who have disabilities, but then they can match up with anybody in Call of Duty, hands down.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But then there's some other ones who, you know, they've lost like their complete right and left arms. You know, but they still want to play games, and they have specific tools to do that. So there's like, you know how we have VR games and there are VR specific games, and then there's these games that allow you to play with certain type of controllers and peripherals for people with a specific types of disabilities. So that's how I can see it happening, but then I can also see it to where they might have an option in the game, like you have mouse and keyboard for only, you know, gamepad only, and then this and that, so that, you know, if somebody has a disability where they can't utilize the gamepad,
like a accessibility kind of version of a game, what makes it a bit more like available to those kind of audiences.
It might not be where, you know, Dio's playing the game, but because we've catered to this community, he has to play this way. I think it's probably going to be a situation to where, one, your Xbox or your peripheral has identified you as a person with disabilities, and this is what based on the controller you use, and then so the game itself is then being catered to you. That's a possibility, and I think that it would be wise if they went that direction. Over the whole everybody is seeing the same thing.
But it's kind of experiencing the side effect of
So
I mean, I definitely think it could be done. It's all up in the hands of the devs, right? I think we definitely all agree on that.
Xbox has improved the way how we play backwards compatibility games.
Yes.
By boosting the FPS.
Yup. That's so
awesome. This was big news what came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. I mean, I'm you know, 60 frames is good enough. I mean, now we're looking at 120 frames. Some people say it is great if you're in competitive. It sucks if you're looking for visuals. But like, what are you guys' take on that? Because that boost, what does that boost mean for you when you play backwards compatibility games? And I stress backwards compatibility games.
Yeah. I don't think it's something to be mad about. I was like, get a better experience. For me, you know, I play quite regularly. I go back to Black Ops 1, one of the 360 titles. That's one of my favorite games. And, you know, playing the zombies in there. And I think you can tell how old these games feel sometimes. And being able to kind of freshen up that experience and kind of, you know, get auto HDR on there, get a higher frame rate. It's good, man. I'd really love to see that. And I know they've got that select group of titles at the minute.
Yeah.
I think it's game by game basis, right? That's what they said.
Yeah. I think you have to also be a part of the Xbox Insider Hub to take advantage of the FPS. So I'm still testing that out. I've been trying Lost Odyssey, and Lost Odyssey has auto HDR for the current console. That's not in the Insider, but I want to see if it has the FPS boost. But the reason why I said that as it relates to the, what is it called, the backwards compatibility, is because at some point in time there was a discussion that, you know, next gen consoles are not made to play old games. Why do people need to play old games? And seeing the hard efforts of the engineering team putting FPS boost, auto HDR, you know, and then being able to see your backwards compatible games in cloud, xCloud, as well as just your base Xbox Series S and Series X, is really becoming a all-in-one machine for gaming. And that's kind of weird to say now, because everything should be all-in-one, but we don't have that, right? Like you can't go to Switch and say, I want to play the Mario game that was on the 64. You gotta like go to, you have to buy it, right, on the Nintendo cloud or whatever. Yeah. You know, but Microsoft has created like a ecosystem where people can play all their previous games at no additional cost, auto HDR, FPS, and you're getting that smooth frame rate. You're getting, it kind of sucks because what game was I playing? I think it's not this game. It's not Final Fantasy. It is Lost Odyssey. I start to see the edges. The crispiness on the edge of the people. They should be smooth, because you know back then it was what. It was 720, and now it's like 4K. So so now it's like you start seeing like, you know, small little blocky pointing stuff coming out of people's. It's not bad, trust me, it's not bad, but you know it's old, but then it's just smooth at the same time.
Yeah, it hasn't visually it hasn't aged well, but it performs fine.
Awesome. Yeah.
Exciting, man. It's exciting.
What have you come across, Don?
In terms of other news?
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? We talked about PlayStation earlier, and it kind of reminded me of a game that came out last year, around the summertime. I really kind of blew up on PlayStation. That was Fall Guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know that was mentioned on Nintendo's Direct. I see. So Fall Guys is coming to Xbox and Switch this summer.
Yeah.
Is it going to be crossplay?
I cannot tell you how excited I am. I don't know if it's going to be crossplay.
No, it's going to be crossplay. Yeah, it is.
Is it? Oh, yes. Dude, I cannot tell you how excited I am for this game.
How excited
I am too, actually.
I'm really excited.
I've never played it. I watch people play it and I ask myself why. So you gotta explain to me.
You know, it just looks really fun and goofy. It's just I love little games like that sometimes where I just have no serious investment in it. It's just fun. It looks like one of those games. And yeah, I know there was a lot of rumors going around for a while. Like, is it coming to Xbox? Is it not? And it finally happened. And especially coming around that summer period.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when you get that kind of game drought, there's nothing really going on. I think.
But it's weird.
Fall Guys.
I think we're in that summer period right now.
Yeah. Kind of hard too.
And Fall Guys is hitting you pretty hard.
Yeah. Like I had things of me. I haven't had a game to be excited about this year other than Halo Infinite.
I think if you're excited for Fall Guys, because I mean it's definitely a fun game. I played on the PS4. I think you might actually be excited for Knockout City. Have you heard of that one yet?
Knockout City. I haven't heard that either.
So,
I have not.
Okay, so that's like another cross-play game from EA. I'm not sure if it's gonna be free to play. It looks like a free to play kind of game, but it's like you're playing like dodgeball.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
Okay, you guys saw it?
I saw it.
It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty fun.
Do you throw the dodgeballs like you're shooting a weapon?
Yes. Yep. Exactly. You can even get other players on your team and turn them into a ball to throw at other players.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, it did look cool. It looked cool. It was like an arena style type of situation, stage wise.
Yeah.
It looked pretty cool.
Yes.
This is it. I feel like having a lot more of these fun games is just great, man. I feel like sometimes especially for me, I feel like I get wrapped up in shooters too much
Yeah.
sometimes, and then it's nice to kind of go in a completely opposite direction to something just out of left field. Now, Fall Guys is definitely looking to be that game for me.
I know that Knockout City has like a beta going on this weekend on Steam, and I think there's supposed to be another one in April. So I mean, if you guys wanted to check it out,
Hey,
Yeah.
look, if there's a console beta, I could be into it.
I
Could
think
be
that's
into
I think that's in April, the console one.
Keep me dead on that one.
Okay.
And other than that, in terms of news, this Thursday we got our next Halo Infinite update.
Okay.
A little
nice.
blog,
What's going on with that?
and they'll be talking about the single player world, Zeta Halo as it is. So that'll be like the location for the campaign and kind of what's going on, the details. Without having the article, it's hard to tell what's going to be in there. But imagine kind of world building, just talking about what kind of environment you're going to be playing in.
Cool.
Obviously, with the game being open world now, I think there's going to be some interesting little tidbits in there. So we'll probably discuss that more next week.
Okay.
I'd
Okay.
imagine, put it on the docket, a little teaser.
I'm gonna hold that to you, man. You better come ready.
Episode 14.
Bring your whole Halo squad with you. Tell your Halo squad
Yo.
you're gonna be on a podcast talking about Halo. You need to represent your boy. I know how you is. I know how you are, Don.
Yo, we gotta represent the people, man.
Yo, Don is crazy. Don is crazy with this Halo stuff. I mean, I'm not saying Halo is not good. I'm saying the way how he approaches Halo is on a whole different level than me. Trust me.
It's life.
It is
I
life.
don't know, I feel like Halo was the first online game I played, and I just kind of stuck with it since.
I can imagine.
I get that.
Yo, I can
Yeah.
imagine this dude, right? His alarm clock is
I mean, if I could be bothered to do it, I probably would do it.
and then the guitar playing, you know what I'm saying? He's like getting ready, brushing his teeth, getting ready for work, you know what I'm saying? Leaves out the house, he's bopping as he's walking, to the Halo
Yeah,
music.
man.
I mean, like, this guy's on a whole different level. We listen to hip hop, he listens to the Halo orchestra, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
And because of other Halo news,
Yeah.
I know we talked about last week about that kind of new way to play and whatnot with the Halo Online maps.
Yeah.
But if you were like in the MTC kind of world, Halo Insider Flighting program is delayed till next week.
Oh,
If anyone is interested in that,
so
and you'll
what's-
be
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Halo Insider. It's kind of like the Xbox Insider, so you kind of get picked. It's like kind of like beta testing but for players. So yeah, you get access to early Season 6 content and new Halo Online maps.
You
during
don't
that
come
flight
to
test.
us, we come to you type of vibe.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
So
Okay.
hopefully I can pick for that, and if I have anything to talk about
Okay.
that,
Cool,
when I get
cool.
the chance.
Speaking about new place to play, Xbox xCloud is experimenting Chrome browser play, being able to play in your Chrome browser, and I find that very interesting. Where you can just jump on your PC, launch Google Chrome, and then you have xCloud waiting for you to just choose a game to play. It reminds me of another game. Is it Blue Fantasy? Blue something.
Blue.
There's
Blue
another
Fantasy,
There's
the one that was Akira Toriyama
I
design?
think so. I think it's Blue I might be wrong, but there's an MMO that is completely in the browser.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Completely in the browser.
Oh, damn.
And I think they're following that suit.
Okay.
Or Fantasy Blue or something. I don't know. But that's that. There's this new game, and then after this we'll get to you, Dio, because I know you're itching here. Save the person scratching his arm
Gotta
left.
shake.
Yo, no, he's literally itching. I'm sure he's bouncing like, yeah, I want to get in. So Valheim is a new game that came out on Steam.
Yep.
It's weird because this is the first time you see a game that is up for pre-order. It's basically a you know how on Xbox you have a you pay to play a game and then you review the game before it gets released. I forget what it's called.
Yeah,
I think Ark was one of them.
Yeah, I know what you're on about.
like it's like a test bed of games where you
like preview program, whatever.
Yeah, the preview program. So
yeah,
Valheim is technically, in my opinion, is kind of there where you're pre-ordering the game. It hasn't been released, but when you pre-order the game for, I think it's, I might be wrong, $29.99, you jump into this world. This world, you're a Viking and you're like a survival game. It reminds me of Ark, but in a whole different way. Currently, it has 360,000 players, surpassing GTA 5 and Destiny, and it may have increased since then. It ranks the most successful, indie game so far. This, I think it was last Saturday, they sold 275,000 units just Saturday alone. And the game is heavily influenced by Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Skyrim, and Terraria. I don't know if I said that right.
Yep.
That is a very interesting take. I saw the game being played, and I was like, man, like the graphics is like real,
simple.
Yeah. Well, I would say like it's like one of those type of things where you have someone out of college make a character and trees and all these other kind of thing, and it's like I wasn't seeing it, but then as I looked further in, there is so many mechanics and functionalities in the game that makes it good. So they weren't really aiming for the beauty resolution type. They were aiming for functionality and gameplay. I mean, have you guys checked it out? I mean, if so, as far as looking at it or playing it, like, what do you guys think?
So I've been looking at it. It's in early access.
There we go.
It has a stylized art style that I can definitely get behind. I'm not really that kind of person that has to have like photorealistic game, to have fun with it. But
yeah,
I mean, this is a personal thing with me. Is like I'm kind of burnt out with the whole Viking stuff. It feels like almost every other game is Viking stuff. I really do want to play it. It does look really cool, and it has a lot of aspects that I know I would be really into. I know Chain would love to play this game, but I mean, honestly, like until it comes to Xbox, I'm not gonna really jump onto it. For me, I could wait. I know. I mean, it does look really, really good, and it does. From what I've seen, it does deserve the praise it's getting. But I'm burnt out from Viking stuff. I could wait until it gets on Xbox.
Okay. What about you, Don?
Yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of this game online. But yeah, like Dio said, until it comes to Xbox, I'm not really too into it. But I think having another game, like you said, it kind of looks a bit like Ark and being a pre-group program, I think it's definitely got legs, especially with the play base, like you said, with 360,000 already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's.
With a team
I think
of
it's
5 people.
definitely potential out there. I think for me, the one thing I'd like to see with it when it does come to console and it's come pre-program, but I think there needs to be kind of quick update on the console version. I think the problem with Ark, at least for me, with that, it just doesn't feel like it's made for controller or console. It just doesn't quite feel right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Diablo.
Oof.
Yes. I think this is
Diablo,
a segment where we just
that's what
let Dio, tell us about what's going on with Diablo.
All right. So with Diablo 4, I've been happy ever since I saw the first, movie scene, introducing the game. Like finally we had Diablo 4 coming. I mean, they revealed that, the rogue class is coming, which I mean, I expected. It's cool. I'm glad that they're still sticking with world PvP because I was afraid of it getting axed because I mean, I remember in Diablo 3 they promised us, arenas and PvP, and that never really happened until they gave us duels later, which was never really good anyway. So Diablo 4 looks like it's still staying on course. It still looks like it's going to be good, but man, am I excited about Diablo 2. I am so excited for Diablo 2 Resurrected. Mostly because, first of all, I wasn't expecting this. I mean, I knew it was coming, but I did not expect it to be on every platform. It's not just going to be on PC. It's going to be on the consoles also. That is really cool. And it's going to have progression. So if you have it on the PC and you have it on your Switch and your Xbox, if it's the same account, you can just keep progressing, and I think that's amazing. I did not expect that either. The main reason why this looks like it's working very well, most of the player base for when it comes to action RPG games, they swear Diablo 2 is the best one, because in reality, it really is. And there's so many other modders who have tried to replicate it in 3D games, and it never really works out because it just kind of doesn't feel the same. I guess, like, I don't know. Have you ever played like an old school Mario game, and then you play some of these newer ones that are 3D but they're still a side scroller?
Yeah.
So like with those, they feel good, right? Because it still feels like Mario, but you see higher resolution, right? But with these 3D games that they try to do with the ARPGs, it just doesn't feel the same at all. It just flows too nicely. There's like, I hate to say it in a weird way, but there's like, something with the combat that gets lost in translation when people put it in 3D. And what they've done is so smart. What they're doing is that it's still going to be Diablo 2 Classic in the background. The 3D models and textures and everything are just going to be on top of it.
So they're keeping the engine that makes it great, or the mechanics that makes it great, in a sense.
Yes.
And they're reskinning everything.
Yes.
Okay.
And one of the big things that they learned from their mistake with Warcraft 3, oh my god. Yeah, that was such a big mess, dude. That was probably the most disappointing thing Blizzard has done in like the past 10 years. But
oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, with this, I think it's just so, because the big problem with that was that, let's say you had Warcraft 3, the original game, right? But you didn't care about this new one. It still, messed you over, because they redid everything, so you couldn't even play the classic game anymore.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Where with this, you have the option still. Like, if you really don't want to play Resurrected Updated, then you can still play Classic. Just keep playing the old game. So, and not only that, all the old mods that were available for the Classic are going to work on Resurrected for PC players. So, like, it is just so good.
It's all
like,
the same code. It's just
it's so good. They're keeping everything as faithful as possible. I mean, even
so
with
they're
the
kind of
new
preserving that original experience.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like, even like with the new movie scenes, they're gonna make it look nice and beautiful and everything, but they're really trying to capture it like pretty much like scene by scene. I don't know, man. Like, I was really hyped for Diablo 4, but I think I'm more hyped for Diablo 2. I mean, when Diablo 4 comes out, I'm kind of gonna have to be like, well, I'm still busy with Diablo 2. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to Diablo 4 yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just super exciting. I know this
We're
is
gonna have
nerdy,
to take
but
a rain check with Dio coming on the podcast. He's gonna be on that Diablo. He'll be like, man, I'm almost done, guys. I'm almost done. Don't start yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad
If we
because
start
I just can't stop talking about it.
So I took a look at the a little bit of the BlizzCon, and what was appealing, the only thing that I caught actually was the new class called Rogue. She came, I think she was a part of what, Diablo 1 or 2, Dio? The Rogue class? In 2?
Diablo 2, yeah.
And they've preserved her look in this one. And the things that she was doing in there was pretty epic, pretty much,
Oh yeah.
Can you talk about that for a sec?
I mean, honestly, like, I didn't, I don't want to say I was underwhelmed by it or anything like that, but it was something I expected. I mean, for them to really, I was more impressed with when they announced the Druid class would launch. That's something that's more impressive to me, because they really changed the way it plays and everything.
Okay.
Where with the Rogue, I mean, it's definitely really cool, and I expect it to be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
It just is. It's kind of like what's expected. I guess
Gotcha.
It wasn't really mind blowing for me. I was more excited about the whole world PvP thing, because
I as well.
Yeah, I keep getting worried that they're gonna cut it off. That's my big thing.
So I'm not really a Diablo player, but when I hear world PvP in a game, that kind of genre, it seems interesting because it's you're kind of like in a god view in a sense, and you're seeing people, you're seeing like hordes of enemies coming at you. So it's open world PvP, so PvPvE, I should say, right?
Yes. Yep.
Other than 4, is 3 like that?
3 is not like that. 3. So when they first announced 3, and for the first few, news out that they announced for it, like they were supposed to have arenas and they were supposed to have battlegrounds and stuff like that, but that never came to light. I mean, even when it launched, we didn't even have duels. Duels came out way later, and even now, I mean, no one duels. I mean, it's PvP in Diablo 3 is not a thing.
Gotcha.
And that's why I was a little worried with this, because honestly, a lot of people in Diablo 2, I mean, first and foremost, Diablo 2 is more about the PvE, which is fine, but PvP was still a fun thing to do in Diablo 2 that people did on their own.
Gotcha.
Definitely more than 3. So I mean, with 4, I definitely have high hopes for it. I really, the fact that they haven't axed it yet is good, but I'm still not like gonna, expect it until like it actually launches, just because that what happened with Diablo 3.
Okay. So this week we had Nintendo Direct going on. They showed off some games coming in. Any highlights from you guys before I start naming a little bit of what kind of caught my attention?
Not for me. No.
Okay.
Oh, not for you? Okay. There was definitely quite a few. Not a lot. I'll get this one out of the way just because this was just kind of weird to me. DC Superhero Girls. I don't know how you felt about it, like when you were watching Nintendo Direct, but it kind of felt like it lingered way too long. Like compared to some of the other like videos, I was like kind of waiting, like, okay, let's get on to the next video. Especially when you compare it to like something like Zelda Hyrule Warriors. I was like, I was expecting that to be long, but it was like this short little clip and then like a screenshot, and then this was like this long overdragged video. It was really weird. But it looks cool and cute for little girl gamers to play and stuff, and I was like, oh, I might play it with my girls. But then when I saw it was single player, I was like, kind of doesn't seem like that fit. I don't know why you would waste that potential, but
you're ready to move on.
Yeah, I was really ready to move on. I was like, there's better thing like Mario Golf, dude. That looks really fun.
Yes, yeah, that's one of my picks too. So I'm an avid fan of Tiger Woods 2007, I should say, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 07. The reason being was because of the Eagle Eye. The Eagle Eye ended. Oh my gosh. Like
I'm just trying to picture Bubonics playing Tiger Woods game.
Dude, I'm serious. So so you got your character, you custom made him or whatever, and then you swing, and if you hit it the right way, right, with enough power, then you get like an Eagle Eye, and that Eagle Eye allows you to do a hole-in-one. They don't do that anymore. It's become it becomes super simulated. So it was a little bit arcadey with simulation, and then become just all simulation. So I'm just trying to find my golf replacement. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had a Switch, I would definitely be looking at Mario Golf.
I feel like I've learned something new by Bubonics today.
I'm sorry?
I didn't know you're such a big golf guy.
Moving on.
I don't really hear that.
Mario Golf. I think it might scratch that itch for you, honestly. If you're looking for something that's like arcadey and fun, I mean, did you see like that speed golf mode that it's supposed to have in it?
Oh no, I didn't pay attention to all of it. I just saw it, I was like, oh, that looks interesting, and I just stared at it for the whole time. So,
well, you can even make your own character in it, what they call a me, and then you have a story mode, and you could like raise your character and raise the stats that you want to raise for them and stuff. So, I think that might be the game for you if you get a Switch.
Yeah, there was that, and then there was the other one by Xbox. They had like this one that they created, and I was like, I don't want to buy it. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks kind of overly cartoony. But with the Mario one, see, the thing about Nintendo is like Mario is kind of like it's serious, but not serious at the same time. So
Yeah.
they're good about the mechanics on top of a fun, family-oriented type of perspective, if you will.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What do you think about Monster Hunter Rise?
I think it looks pretty cool. I think that it seems like they're trying to go with a more story-driven experience. Like it seems, I mean, Monster Hunter World had a story, but I feel like this one is trying to do better, in my opinion.
Right.
I don't know if that's because of the influence of the movie that came out or whatnot, but it seems pretty interesting from what I saw.
Have you seen anything in relative to like comparing to the world, Monster Hunter World, where the hub and all these other things? Because I myself I played it, and it was just an issue getting people to roll with. You know what I'm saying? Like they couldn't just jump in the world. They had to have gone to a ship that's at the very top, and then you had to do this and do that, and it's just a lot of things. So I usually just played on my own. Has that? I mean, I'm not sure if you know, because of course it's been announced, and but have you heard anything about how multiplayer has changed in that?
Not really. I haven't really delved too deep in it, just because I've never really been crazy about Monster Hunter. I mean, it's funny because I won't say it's completely like Dark Souls, but it's a similar fighting style. But there's just something about it that I find a bit more sluggish and unresponsive. But that might just be being a noob and not giving it enough time. But I'm definitely gonna check this out. I have a feeling it's gonna have a better multiplayer aspect to it, because that's the whole kind of point of playing on a Switch, right? Because you're on the go, you're playing with other people, it's supposed to be social, and I think that they are, because they really, at least from a lot of the clips I've seen, they really stress not only the story, but the stress the like multiplayer aspect. That you always see like this group of hunters together, gliding and what's it called, like almost I can't even say anything besides a hook shot because I can't think of the proper name, but like it looks cool. I think it might be a good game. I know you can play the demo right now still.
Okay.
If you have it, so.
Okay. And then they kind of pushed the whole Xenoblade in Smash Bros.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people were disappointed with that, and
I didn't know what to make of it. I was like, "Oh, what's this? Oh, it's a new game," and he's like trying to find this girl, right? And then she's like, "I'm sorry, I got invited to Smash Bros." I was like, "No." Because we've been hearing Smash Bros left and right for the past 2 months of new characters, at least, or maybe 3 months. So I figure brand new IP or something. Well, maybe like it was Xenoblade, so it'd be like something brand new, So
yeah, I think it's smart on like. I could definitely see how people are disappointed because, like, we just had Sephiroth came out, right? And he's a badass.
Yeah, he's OP.
So, yeah. So, like, and then, you even had stuff with, like, Steve coming in from Minecraft. Like, people are getting spoiled by these big characters, right?
Yeah. Minecraft Steve's in Smash Bros?
Yeah.
Yo.
You should see it.
That's the only character I want to play.
He's good. He's good.
Yo, Steve's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
You see those thick arms.
This guy.
But, I understand why some people are disappointed, but I think it's cool of Nintendo doing that because it's, helping that audience that appreciates that game series. Like, hey, we're giving you this character, right? Because it helps build that community up. But not only that, like, it also, like, indirectly is, like, revitalizes it. And, like, hey, guys, remember this game that we came out with? There's part 1 and part 2 on the Switch. Play this game. If you like it, maybe you want... After you play this character, maybe you might want to check out the game. So I think that was just them also trying to boost sales in other like IPs. So I thought the movie scene was pretty cool. I also thought it was gonna be for a new Xenoblade game or like DLC.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think it was that bad. I just think people had just been built up with so many new good awesome characters that it kind of came off as.
Which
like,
I can only ask this question. If a new Smash Bros comes out, what are they gonna do at that point? Because you've put all these new people in to only have a new Smash Bros with those people missing is gonna be a little bit awkward. You know what I mean?
I mean, pretty much all the Smash Bros. Characters are in the game now are from the previous ones also.
Right.
So I would...
Well, Sephiroth's not in, and the guy from Minecraft's not in, and then this girl from Xenoblade's not. I mean, we're talking about, like, you know, people who've come attached to these characters, right? Who are not initially a part of Smash Bros. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they keep it going?
Like I was saying, like they've done this before, right? Like Sonic, I think, was introduced back in the GameCube version of Smash, and so was Solid Snake. So
that's right, Solid Snake, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure, like, you know, Nintendo has these plans, and you know they've written these contracts out, like, hey, you know, if we eventually do this in the future, like, can we keep using this character? I mean, I'm sure they had to share some of those proceeds because these characters are bought anyway, right? Yeah, they're not free, so.
Okay.
It helps everyone out, you know, because, you know, people who play those characters on those games are like, yo, well, this guy's pretty cool. Let me buy that game and see how it is, you know?
Yeah. The one game that is usually not my style of game. What I mean by, I look at the story and how things work. So, Neon Whites, basically, you're assassinating demons in heaven.
Yes.
And it's a first-person shooter. Reminds me of... It's kind of weird because I guess I can't say that it is, but that's my only reference. It's like Portal and some other type of shooter. And it's fast-paced too, like ridiculously fast-paced. Almost like Portal meets Mirror's Edge or Doom. I'm just looking at like traversal. Is a lot of verticality in that game. Is ridiculous.
Yes.
And it's fast-paced shooting. So it looked interesting to me. When I first saw it, I thought it was gonna be, I thought it was gonna be like a third-person, you know, type of game, but it's actually first-person and shooter. So it completely blew me away when it was the gameplay.
Same thing for me. For real, like I assumed it was gonna be a JRPG.
Exactly.
Typical one.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like a monster collector. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, something
like, you know, I thought you were gonna like collect demons and angels or something. That's why
you're assassinating them, so you're not collecting them.
Yeah.
Collecting their hearts.
Surprised me. Yeah, collecting their hearts, right?
Man, you can't take them hearts. You got to burn that thing. So outside of that, have you guys watched the movie trailer for Mortal Kombat?
No.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna play it because Don hasn't watched it, so we're gonna play that one sec.
First learned about this 7 years ago. On a mission in Brazil to capture a wanted fugitive. When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds. The target had superhuman abilities. It had the same marking you do, Cole.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
He was born with it.
It's not a birthmark, Cole. It means you've been chosen.
Throughout history, different cultures all over the world reference a great tournament of champions. That dragon marking? I think it's an invitation to fight for something known. As Mortal Kombat.
These are your champions.
I'm Sonya. That's Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
Name's Jax.
Kung Lao.
Lord Raiden. The fate of Earth is in our hands.
No matter how many of my people you put in the ground, we will not fail. Kill them.
Kano wins. You fucking beauty.
Yeah.
Kano wins. You fucking beauty.
That is Mortal Kombat there, guys. What is your thoughts?
I'm kind of surprised they're making another Mortal Kombat movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it looks better than I thought it would. I can't lie. I'm not really sure what's going on necessarily. This kind of fight each other. But I mean, look, it looks cool. I might watch it. You never know.
What about you, Dio? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Don. My bad.
Yeah, it's just Mortal Kombat, but it's a movie.
What about you, Dio?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it. I think the special effects look good and everything. I'm just not really crazy about some of the casting. I don't like Liu Kang. I like that they're adding a lot more Asian characters, like actors. I mean, which is good. Like Scorpion's character, awesome. You know, Raiden, great. You know, Shang Tsung, cool. But like Liu Kang and like Kung Lao, I don't really like. Jax, I'm not really crazy about because, like, for Jax, I want to see like a big ass brolic dude, and it's like they got this tiny guy. To me, a lot of the actors are very tiny in this movie. You know, so it's kind of just disappointing to me in that respect. You know, but the special effects look awesome because I think that was something that was missing in the first one, where it felt almost like more like Street Fighter, right? Like
right, exactly. I think that's what their competition was at the time, was Street Fighter with what's his name, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, which was a terrible movie. I mean, Mortal Kombat was definitely better than that movie, but
yeah, like the effects look pretty good on this. I can't lie, like visually.
Oh yeah,
it looks
all the
good.
Sub-Zero stuff is awesome.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they threw Sub-Zero's thing in a little too much into the trailer too, because I'm wondering, okay, after you see this, what's next? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's what I'm afraid of too.
Yeah, but I think I agree. It's gonna be hard to come from the previous Mortal Kombat movies into this movie because you've kind of resonated with, you know, who Shang Tsung was.
Yeah,
you know, and you've resonated with Liu Kang as well. So my hope is that the movie it takes itself seriously. To be honest, we won't know until we actually see it. But I agree, Jax looks a little like
tiny.
Yeah, like when he gets his arms ripped off, he looks like he's just a regular dude. You know.
Yeah.
That's this guy right there.
Yeah, and
okay.
And then later
because
on,
I have no idea who any of these people are.
What? Dude, Mortal Kombat has been on Game Pass for a minute. Yeah, man, you need to play the story, dude. I think it might still be on Game Pass.
There's a story?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I am not having this conversation. I am not having this conversation right now. The fact that we have a movie means that there's lore.
I mean, yeah, you know. Once the dudes find each other, right?
I also kind of find it weird that you see, like, Melina, like, you know, I don't know why she's a black girl.
Well, I don't know why she's even there. She's not.
That's that too. Yeah.
I mean, when Scorpion has a face, right? Melina did not exist.
Yes, not yet.
Not yet. So.
Not introduced anyway.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Ooh.
Okay, so can you guys take a look at it? Looks like we got blocked.
That was super quick.
Oh, temporarily blocked. Let's see if I refresh. Fully blocked. Anyways. Wow. So we know not what to do next time.
Yeah.
So
with the quickness too.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is, dang, I can't stop and go, right? Am I recording? I'm not even recording. I should record this joint. All right, so what should we do? Because we were blocked.
I mean, is this still like record everything?
No, it's not recording.
I mean, like, would it save it on
No.
YouTube still?
Yeah, it probably would. It probably would, but I don't know. We have to see. But the only other thing would be Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden has came out with a collection, and that collection is Ninja Gaiden 1, 2. Actually, sorry, Sigma 1.
Sigma, yep.
Sigma 2.
Yep.
And Razor's Edge, which is basically Ninja Gaiden 3.
Yep. With all DLC, all costumes.
Exactly. It's nonsense. I think this is going to be the perfect time for Dio to jump back in. I want to watch that stream, but definitely Don, you should check it out too, because if there's ever a ninja game that, you know, outside of Tenchu that you want to get into, this is it. I mean, it is the non-stealth. This is non-stealth. This is all action.
Yeah.
We got an email, by the way. It says when the material is no longer being streamed, they re-enable the stream. So if we change what's ever on screen, it should go back up.
Well, it's been changed. Because what was happening was the movie was playing, and the movie and the audio was in the background. Everything was playing, and our voices wasn't in it. So boom, you got flagged. Yeah. So right now it's just is the background music that's not copyrighted, and everything, you know, everything that's on the background with us talking is okay by YouTube. So yeah. But anyways, this is a non-stealth, fully action Ninja Gaiden game. Dio, you said the last time you tried it, last time you tried, that was the original Ninja Gaiden?
Yes.
How far did you get into Ninja Gaiden?
Not very far.
Was it hard, or was it like was it just uninteresting? I mean, what were your thoughts about it?
I mean, there's a little bit of that, but I think it's mostly just because it felt spammy to me. But then I'm kind of like that. Whenever I play a new game, I have to like try it a few times before I get into it. I mean, even with Dark Souls, like as much as I love the game now, it took me a bunch of tries to get into it.
Gotcha.
So that's really just the issue right there when it comes to a lot of games, especially when it's action type games.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Even turn-based games, I'll say the same thing. Like at first, I'll be like, "Oh, this game is garbage. It's boring." But then I give it a few more tries. I mean, World of Warcraft took me like I think 5 tries to get into.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't expect the Don to say anything. Don hasn't even tried it before.
No, I mean, you know what it is? Ninja Gaiden has always been a game that I've always heard about, but I've never actually like got my hands on.
Look at that action, though. Look at that action. How could you miss it?
Mean, you know, it looks cool.
And
I guess
you know, it's one of those. I think, I think if I put time into it, I'd like it. It's just a matter of putting the time into it.
It's one of those type of joints where once you kind of figure out how the controls are, it becomes now you versus the enemy over you versus the controller. I think what got me sucked in was the Master Ninja tournament at the time, because you had to beat a stage at a certain amount of time, and you had to kill a certain amount of people with a certain amount of karma. Karma is basically I'm not sure if you are a combo type of person, Don, but if you are able to pull certain type of combos, then what's going to happen is you're going to get a multiplier in your on your karma, and you use that karma to upgrade your weapons and upgrade your gear and buy stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, bro, like I just say, you know, give it a shot. If it comes on Game Pass,
it's got the Hayabusa armor that was in Halo 3. It's got a connection, maybe, you know.
Bruh.
Again.
Bruh. Say no more. That's all I gotta tell you.
Look, you know, it's tied in. Maybe I'll respect the legacy.
Yo, this is what helped the 360 launch was the Ninja
This
Gaiden.
thing, I remember being
Black
back in
and-
school and hearing everyone talking about Ninja Gaiden. Like, oh, yo, you play Ninja Gaiden? I was like, what the heck's that? But yeah, hey, look, if it comes to Game Pass, check it out.
It was already on Game Pass. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
and part 1 and part 2.
And 3, but
Part 3 was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
but-
if they get the frame rate boost and all that, what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Maybe.
True.
and the
maybe.
Auto HDR. Anyway, let's just move on. Anyways, you guys got anything else? Any other news that we haven't covered?
Not for me, I don't think.
Okay.
Nah, just a few other
Mhm.
Nintendo Direct stuff, but nothing really crazy, honestly.
Okay. So CD Projekt Red has issued a DCMA takedowns. They're going through an issue where the code for CD Projekt Red, the code for Cyberpunk 2077 has been leaked.
Yeah.
And so now they're on a hunt to take down unpaid for versions of the game. So that's happening. So they got hacked, their materials got sold, and now they're taking down stuff. They can't catch a break. Other than that, you remember we talked about the MLB 2021 from PlayStation Studios? So they have a tech test coming up.
Ooh.
And you can sign up for that. The tech test, I'm going to put it into the chat. Anybody interested in baseball, especially MLB, there it is. That is the link. And if for Xbox, you have to be in the Xbox Insider Hub to accept that. There are no links. There are no registrations. There are specific steps within PlayStation and on Xbox to get into the program. So just follow that and you should be able to jump in. This is next week.
Okay.
Okay,
A lot
nice.
going on next week then.
Yeah. There was something else happening. But I completely forgot. Anyways. What I would try to do is see if I can find some additional information. Because Blade and Soul update for Unreal Engine 4 is crazy.
Crazy? How crazy we talking?
We're talking Ninja Gaiden crazy.
Okay.
Based on a video. It was a little snippet. It looked pretty nice. It looked like a lot of things was going on. So I'm gonna find some content and we're gonna talk about that next week. It's been something ongoing. It's an MMO. It needs to come to Xbox. It definitely needs to come to Xbox because I would play the heck out of that game. Trust me. So other than that, that's all I got. And if you guys don't have anything else, that is it. We have come to the
That's what she said.
Yo, my bad. I ended it quickly. I thought we were still hearing voices here, but proper outro. Again, my name is Ebonics. This is Dio, and the Don CJG. We're signing out. Thank you for jumping into the Digital Cypha. Anything gaming, anything regarding games, and what's going around the world that we can scrounge up. Definitely hit that subscribe button. Let's get our numbers up there so we can we can get more people into the chat session.
Yeah, man.
Answer your questions.
Grow the community.
So thank you very much, guys, for stopping in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He said thank you. Some Mortal Kombat.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys. See you next week.
Peace.